how the Bible supports and condones rape. But you know, my pastors and Sunday school teachers never talked about these passages. They never read these passages out loud to children. And for good reason. Let's jump right into the Bible, shall we? The story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot. This information was left out, obviously, and for probably good reason, because who would want to expose this to a young 6-year-old? Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." I was always taught that Lot was a righteous man of God. But after reading this passage, I have to question that. Is Lot really a righteous man of God? The fact that he would throw his 2 virgin daughters out to a mob of men, sexually violent men? So, rather than protect your own children, you sacrifice your children up to be raped by a mob of different men to save your own fucking skin? That does not sound like a righteous man of God to me. So yeah, that happened in the Bible. Lot sacrificed his virgin daughters to save himself, to be rescued and rewarded for his display of supposedly courage, and then his wife is struck down into a pillar of salt for looking over her shoulder back at the evil city. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The story gets even better than this. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger daughter, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you can go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father." So, rather than having consensual incest with your father asking, "Hey, Dad, I want to have sex with you. Let's bang." No, they get him drunk, and they rape him. If we skip 2 books ahead to the wonderful book of Deuteronomy, we have another fantastic, amazing, loving story for you. If a man happens to meet in a town a virgin pledged to be married and he sleeps with her, you shall take both of them to the gate of that town and stone them to death. The young woman because she was in a town and did not scream for help, and the man because he violated another man's wife. So what this verse is saying here is that because the virgin who was raped did not scream for help, you stone her. You kill the rape victim for being raped. This next rape passage in the Bible beats the previous 2 by quite a lot. While they were enjoying themselves, some of the wicked men in the city surrounded the house, pounding on the door. They shouted to the old man who owned the house, "Bring out the man who came to your house so we can have sex with him." Way to be blunt about it. The owner of the house went outside and said to them, "No, my friends, don't be so vile. Since this man is my guest, don't do this outrageous thing. Look, here is my virgin daughter and his concubine. I will bring them out to you now, and you can use them and do to them whatever you wish. But as for this man, don't do such an outrageous thing." But these men would not listen to him. So the man took his concubine and sent her outside to them, and they raped her and abused her throughout the night. And at dawn they let her go. At daybreak the woman went back to the house where her master was staying, fell down at the door, and lay there until daylight. When her master got up in the morning and opened the door of the house and stepped out of it and continued on his way, there lay his concubine, fallen in the doorway of the house with her hands on the threshold, and he said to her, "Get up, let's go." But there was no answer. Then the man put her on his donkey and set out for home. When he reached home, he took a knife and cut up his concubine limb by limb into 12 parts and sent them to all the areas of Israel. So this woman gets brutally raped only for her to die the very next day. Then she gets cut up limb by limb after she's been raped. Why was I never taught these stories when I was a wee young little lad? There's one thing that I want you to come away with this video. It is the fact that the Bible is a despicable, evil, vile book. And I would suggest that if you know any religious folks, friends or family, that you bring up these passages, show them to your mother, show them to your religious fundamentalist father. See what they have to say, because I guarantee you, unless your father or mother or friends or family are really fucked up, I have never seen a Christian or religious folks try to justify or excuse this passage. But usually what they say is, you should only focus on the New Testament. But we all know that the Old Testament wouldn't exist without the New Testament, and the New Testament wouldn't exist without the Old Testament. The Bible, as Christians like to call it, is a revelation. It is a prophecy. Both books have to work together. Without one, you cannot have the other.